Let us talk about one more feature of object-oriented programming called as polymorphism. Polymorphism literally means many forms. Think of it like this. Let us say I work in a company which does painting. I paint colleges, I paint schools, I paint homes, I paint furniture, I paint clothes, and so on. So let us say you get service from me by sending SMS. So the name of my service is the same. It's all called as paint. But let us say I have a different team for painting colleges, different team for painting schools, different team for painting furniture, different team for painting home, different team for painting on cloths. So if you just send me the message paint and in bracket if you put college, I'll forward that message to my college team. So the college team goes and comes and paints for you. Again, if somebody sends me the message paint with school, I'll send my school team to go and paint your school. If somebody says paint and furniture, I'll send my furniture people to paint your furniture. So this way what I'm trying to tell you is the name of my work or service I provide is the same. Just by giving me different values or different symbols, it helps me to send different teams to get the work done for you. So this is exactly what you mean by polymorphism. One name, many functions or many ways of doing the same thing by giving it the same name. So here what I did is the message was the same, but based on the value, I processed it in different ways. But the name of the message was always paint. Now, let's try to understand what we mean by the next two lines. Let us say I have written a function or a code which is used to add numbers. Okay. So the first one name, I give it the name add and I say n1 comma n2. The name is add. So what it does is suppose I pass 20 and 30, it will calculate the result 50 and say it prints it here. Now in place of numbers, if I decide to pass names, like say I want to join or add these strings Ram plus Sham, the result should be Ram Sham. So S1 contains Ram, S2 contains Sham, and the result is going to contain Ram Sham. So the name of both of this is the same, except that by looking at this fellow has three items, this fellow has two items. So I know when three items are sent, I need to add names. When two items are sent, I need to add it as numbers. So the same plus here is being done in different ways. Here, since there are only two items, I'm adding the numbers. Here, since there are three items, I'm adding the names and passing it or storing it in result. But the name of that thing is still add, and I'm using the plus operator in both the case. But the plus way it behaves here is different from here, because here I'm adding numbers, here I'm adding names. So this is known as polymorphism. One name, many avatars. One name, many functions. The name is same, but one is adding numbers, one is adding strings or characters. Now, so here it is what it's trying to tell you. The operator plus was used to add numbers as well as it was used for joining. Concatenating means joining strings. So the advantage of that is the name of the method or function was add, but based on the number of items it was adding numbers or it was adding strings. This particular concept is known as function overloading or method overloading. The same name used to do different things, you're overloading it. That's why it is called function overloading. The advantage of polymorphism is it can handle different data types. In the first, the data type was numbers. In the second, the data type was names. And also in the first, there were only two items. In the second, there were three items. So the same name based on the data type and names can do different things, but having the same name. So polymorphism permits objects to have different way of doing things in the box, but outside the box it appears the same. That means the name is the same, but internally it does different things. So an example of that is this again, paint. There is a standard paint name, but based on whether I message paint house, paint furniture, paint fabric or paint college, I am going to do different things. But the standard name is paint. So paint has multiple avatars. In this case, it has four avatars or four forms. In each of the forms, based on the value sent or the item sent, I am going to do different things. So polymorphism means one name doing different things. That is what you mean by polymorphism.